Hello and good afternoon. Today we're going to start talking about inequalities, or some of you might remember it as these things, the greater than and less than symbols. So, like simple stuff, 1 and 3, which one is greater than, less than? 1 is less than 3. Or 15 and 13. 15 is greater than 13. So real quick, let's look at these couple of problems here. 3.05 or 3.204. Which one is larger? Negative 12 or negative 8. 5/6 or 3/4. So first of all, we're going to go back and look at this first one. 3.2, there's a 2 in the tenths place. There's a 0 in the tenths place. So that sign goes this way. A negative 12 and a negative 8. If you remember our number line, which one of these is larger? The closer to 0? Negative 8. So negative 12 is less than a negative 8. And then the last one, 5/6 and 3/4. That one's tricky. We're going to probably have to convert that into twelfths to make sure we know what we're looking at. So 6 times 2 is 12. That means 5 times 2 is 10. 10 twelfths is the same as 5/6. On this side, 12. 4 times 3 is 12. 3 times 3 is 9. 9 twelfths. And it turns out 10 twelfths is larger than 9 twelfths, which means 5/6 is larger than 3/4. So now that we've looked at that, let's think about the idea of push-ups. And we're going to say that the PE class, everyone in there could do 7 or more push-ups. So push-ups is our variable, P, and everybody in there could do 7 or more. So they could do 7 or more. Push-ups is greater than 7 or more. In other words, they could do at least 7. That's why the equal sign is there, but they could do more. Now, when we graph this inequality on a number line, because that's what we're going to use to graph this in, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, and so on. We're saying that P is greater than or equal to 7. So here's 7. We used a closed dot because it's equal to, greater than or equal to. If it was just greater than, we would use an open dot. But because it's equal to, greater than or equal to, means we use a closed dot and it's greater than. So we shade this all the way up because we don't know how far up it goes. We just know every student could do at least 7, which means they could do 7 or more push-ups. Okay? Similarly, if we said every student in that class could run a mile in 12 minutes or less. So we could run a mile in 12 minutes or less. We could use R or M, but we're going to use R for running a mile in 12 minutes or less. So again, because it is equal to 12 minutes, it's going to be that, or they could run it in less than that. So run is less than or equal to 12. And again, on our number line, 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. Because we're equaling 12, it's a closed dot, but this time it can be less than. We're running it faster than 12 minutes, so we're going to shade this. This equation gets shaded this way. Because it's 12 minutes or less. Now, if we were to say something like pull-ups, everyone in the class could do 4 pull-ups, at least 4 pull-ups. So again, we're going to say everybody could do so many pull-ups. In this case, 4. Everybody could do more than 4. So everybody could do 5, 6, 7, or what have you. This is not saying anybody did 4. This is saying everybody did 4 or more pull-ups. So now, because it's greater than 4, we use an open circle, not a closed circle like the other two, and we shade greater than 4 pull-ups. And that is what we're doing when we are graphing inequalities. So equally, if you get a graph of an inequality, you should be able to write out the equation for it. So in this first one, we see that when we're going to call all of these x's for our variables, x, it goes up, it's a -2 and it's less than that. But look, it's an open circle. So x has to be less than -2. In this next one, we have 5 and everything greater than 5, but it's a closed circle, so that means it does equal 5. So x is greater than or equal to 5, right? Greater 6, 7, 8, all those are larger than 5, including 5. And then in this last one here, we have x, and again, we're moving up, so it's greater than. We have a closed circle at the 1/2 mark. So x is greater than or equal to 1/2. Now let's try a couple of these on our own. So let's try these 6 on our own. X is less than -2. Show that to me on a graph. X is greater than or equal to 5. Show that to me on a graph. X is less than 4. Show that to me on a graph. X is greater than or equal to 2/3. Show that to me on a graph. And these two graphs, write the equation for me. X and x are our variables. Write the equation. X is either greater than, equal to, less than, or equal to, and let's see what you come up with. And we will go over those tomorrow in class.